All right, we are live in the foreclosure listing service foreclosure studio with I'm Curtis Roddy, and I've got Jack Zagunis, our customer success manager today. Today, really, the goal of this webinar today is to go over any questions that you have about the current foreclosure market, investing in real estate in Texas, or any just real estate investing questions that you might have in general. So we've reserved a lot of today for questions and to be able to answer any questions that you have. And we're also going to go over some exciting new developments in the foreclosure market. If you did not know, yesterday the pre-foreclosure list came out, so we're excited to see some new things going on there. Jack, anything else that you want to talk about today, or anything else before we get started?
Yeah, so today it's only once a month that this list comes out and is finalized. So this should be a day that's marked on your calendars. It's circled. That's a day that you stop your other business to go ahead and highlight the properties you're interested in and get out to see them right away. So today's a big day every month.
Yeah, Jack and I have 2 days every month that we're most excited about foreclosures. One is the Super Tuesday, which is the first Tuesday of every month, where we have all of the foreclosure auctions, and then the other one is today, where we get to start going through all of the postings and the reports that we've got on our site. So we'll go ahead and get started and just start talking about some of the developments from really the last couple of months. I know it's been a while. We've had a lot of people ask us to start doing some more postings or some more webinars. So we're going to start a new series of webinars. If you haven't liked or followed our Facebook or Instagram pages, go ahead and follow those. We post all of the new developments, a lot of new posts on anything happening in the foreclosure market. And then also we're going to start a series of webinars where we have 2 every month talking about how to develop your real estate investing business. And then we'll also have two webinars every month talking about foreclosure stats, the kind of state of the market, and then we'll also talk about getting ready for the foreclosure auction. So we're excited for this new series of webinars kind of to wrap up the end of 2021 and to go into 2022. So just diving in, across the board, we're up in foreclosure postings. Some of the counties are up significantly, especially in some of the mid-size counties that we cover. So just for an example, Dallas County was up 8% this month. We had 160 postings. But in Collin County, which is adjacent to Dallas County, we're up 33% with 44 postings. So again, like both of these counties, we're continuing to see momentum in velocity in the number of foreclosure postings that we're seeing. And all the indicators from conversations with trustees and banks and that type of stuff is that we're going to continue to see this momentum into 2022. So just again, just a couple of highlights. Dallas County, we were up 12 postings to 160. Collin County, we were up 33% to 44. Bell County, we were up 95% this month. We had 41 postings, which, man, it's been a while since I've seen that. So that was exciting to see. Travis County, we're up 67%. We had 35 postings this month. And then Bexar County, just a moderate 2% increase. We had 173 postings. So again, most of our tier 1 or our major counties in Texas are up this month, with the exception this month we were down about 15 postings, I believe, because of in Tarrant. Really, it's just because we had this huge increase last month. So we're still back to normal of really what we've been seeing in the Tarrant County market. So, Jack, anything else to add to kind of what we're seeing there?
Yeah, so far as I know, the moratorium is basically is over, or it's ending. And so, things are going to start to get back to normal here. I don't know if it's going to be this big influx in the new year, but we're definitely seeing numbers steadily growing every month.
Yeah, man, that is a great segue into what I wanted to start talking about. Yeah, so like Jack said, we were talking about the moratorium. We've been lucky enough to be able to have some really high-level conversations with some of the bigger foreclosure law firms in Texas, and then also participate in some panels about what's coming in 2022 for foreclosures. And really the kind of the sentiment with everybody is that we're going to keep seeing this momentum. The big reason that we're not seeing any releases right now from banks are because they're still not sure that eviction moratorium is over. There's a lot of talk if we can get through the end of the year and we don't have that eviction moratorium re-extended, that we'll start seeing files released and more properties or classes of properties eligible for foreclosure in 2022. We don't expect that we're going to see like January 1st or February 1st that, hey, here's a 2,000% increase in postings. We expect just to continue having this momentum with foreclosure postings and probably see more sales at the auction as a result of that.
Yeah, sales at the auction. I was at Dallas last 2 months in a row, and the month before this last one, there was 58 sales, which is the most they've had since the pandemic started. So those of you familiar with going to auction, sometimes there'll be 30 properties on the list, say in a place like McLennan, and lately like only 3 to 5 sell. But if we can even get those numbers up to 15 to 20 properties selling, a higher percentage of them, then that's kind of getting back to normal in a way.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was an exciting month this month. I mean, myself, I went to Tarrant County. I was lucky enough to go there. The last couple of months, David Stockman, who's a major trustee there, has had 4 to 10 postings every month. Yeah. This month he cried 20 postings, which was just rare. We haven't seen that in a while, and again, was exciting to see some of the bigger trustees getting back with more postings. Mm-hmm. If you haven't seen David Stockman yet, we've got pictures of actually him crying the sale on our Facebook page. He was also helping the Roddy's team and calling out the Roddy's ID number. So that was exciting to get to work with David this month and see that. So if we don't have any questions to start off, we'll kind of have Jack dive into how to access and review this list. We'll talk about some just making sure that everybody understands what each of the properties means. If you have questions, please put them into the comments below. Myself or Jack or somebody else from the Roddy's team will answer that during the webinar.
All right, great. Let me know when I'm free to show this.
You are golden.
So when you first come to our website, this is what you're going to see. I'm first going to do just a sample of how quickly you can get to your list, and I want to show you some interesting things about our website and what's changed. The first thing you want to do is log in up here. You can log in with Facebook, with your password, or with Google. And so I'm going to log in with Google right here. And so now I'm in. It doesn't say log in here anymore, which means I'm in. It's going to give you an announcement. There's an X up here to close it out. You click up here in these top bars. You click products. And then you click pre-foreclosure list. Another map is going to show up here. Of course, it's going to stall out right there. It's going to say I need to close the map, but it's not there. So sometimes you just have to go back to products. I'm glad this is live. There's the map. We're going to close it out. And then you have these two options, access your properties or add more lists. We'll click access your properties. I always choose option number 1, but you're allowed to look at these as well. But we'll just do that for this. And now here you're at the list. This is where you can filter. I'm going to look up the Brazoria list because it's one of our newer counties and not a lot of people have it, so nobody's going to be yelling at me. And I'm just going to hit search for showing it. And as I hit search, there it goes. And then we have 28 records. I'm going to click view all. And then here is the list. That only took me about 30 to 45 seconds to pull the list, and that's with logging on and everything. So it is really, really easy. So some of the things I wanted to point out before I go into the list is over here on our menu tab, this is where you're going to do a few different things. We'll start here at the top, account. This is where if you want to change your credit card number or your billing address or anything, you can change it in here. You can see past receipts. You also get access to a free county. So you can pick your free county here and say get access, and that gives you 20% access. Even if you're already a subscribed and a member and you're curious about other counties, you can do that here as well. So inside of the next thing on here is going to be that I want to show you is resources. Under resources, so say I have Brazoria County and I want to know, is it complete yet? There's a map right here called pre-foreclosure research status. And I'm just going to look at Brazoria. So it says it's not complete. But it will be. These are our tier 1 counties. They're all complete except for Parker and Wise, which are late to post. And so when they're green, they're complete. And then when they're red, there's postings available. As you saw, there were 28 in Brazoria. And but there will be more, so keep checking that. And then we cover these ones, but there's no postings available yet, these dark blue ones.
Yeah, and typically our tier one counties are always going to be the counties that we're at auction. We have Roddy representatives. That's where the bulk of the postings are going to be, anyways. So those are the postings that are going to be done Wednesday night. We've got a team that stays up. I mean, we'll be here till two in the morning getting that research done if we have to.
Yeah.
So tier one counties are done Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. Typically, we are finished with tier two counties, which are usually adjacent to those tier one counties. We're done with those by Friday night, Saturday morning, and then tier three counties are usually completed the Monday or Tuesday following that. A lot of those smaller counties, we're at the mercy of the clerks until they make the postings public.
And if you ever get lost on there, I believe this auction calendar will tell you when each county is going to be complete. So I'll come back to that as soon as that loads. There it was. So tier one, tier two for the auction dates. All right, now going back, I want to actually look at the list here. This is what you're going to do. You're going to pour over this list as soon as you have access. And I just went through those steps I just showed you. I just did a lot faster because I wasn't talking about it this time. And only your county that you have will show up here. So I'm going to do Brazoria. I have 28 postings. This is nice, kind of like a thumbnail view, so you can kind of see a quick image of what it looks like. And you can just view the ones you select. I like to view all until the list is, 3,000 again. I'm going to just view all and look through them all one by one. So I'm not going to do every single one for this, for the respect of the people who do have Brazoria, and not show you guys a 100% free list. But if I were coming in here as an investor, a couple things that I can do. One is right here, I can download the PDF. We have a lot of people still printing straight from the page, and it's not going to fit on your printer side. So click this PDF button right here and download it as a PDF. If you like Excel, you can click Excel here as well. And if you like the label settings, you can click there as well. Let's say you're going to go out and drive this today. You can sort by MapsGo ID. You can sort by zip code. A lot of people like to sort by zip code. And then if you sort by zip code, then it's going to be a lot easier for you to find all these properties because they're going to be in the same area as you go around. But going through the list here, I'm just going to see, okay, what's my plan as an investor? Am I a commercial investor? Am I for vacant land? What am I doing? And for me personally, and most of the people out there, you're just going to be finding single family homes or maybe duplexes. And so the first thing I'm going to do is just narrow down my list. The most successful people we have, you're going to start off with about 40 properties. After you've narrowed down your list, you're going to drive all 40 of them. And then you're going to have, after you do title searches and all that stuff, you're probably going to have about 10 to 15 that you bring to auction. And so you don't want to start off with saying, okay, this is the property right here, this one on Orange Street. That's the only one I want. Because after you drive it and do title search and, after it goes to auction, it probably won't even, there's a chance it won't even show up. So you'll be discouraged and you have to wait a whole nother month before you get to go again. So make sure you start with a sizable list. Only get rid of ones that you absolutely have to at first. I'm probably going to get rid of this one because it's just residential vacant land. You can see that right here. There's no property on it. And I personally, as an investor, don't know what to do with that right now. I don't build from the ground up, but we have investors who do, so you may want that property. But I'm going to cross that one off my list. This one, I might cross this off my list because it was built in 1952, but that's up to you. It also only has a tax value of $66,000. So most of the investors that I work with, they want a property that's anywhere from $250,000 to $400,000. And so, $66,000 property, they don't get excited about. So I'd probably mark that one off. But then we come down here, we have a 1970 build, $256,000. This is tax value property, a loan that was taken out in 2007. So it's an old loan, during the crash or about the last crash. And so it's been paid down by quite a lot to the Seattle bank. And so this property is absolutely on my list, 100%. I'm definitely going to drive that. I'm going to try to talk to the owner and see if they might want to make a deal with me before the auction. At the very least, I'll get a really close look at the house. Same with this one down here. You have a loan that was taken out in 2008, and it's a $259,000 tax value. So for me as an investor, I'm going to go through and I'm going to do this. The next property is commercial. I might take a quick look at that just to see if it's something that I might be able to do something with, but I don't really have a plan for commercial, and I might cross it off. So we have 2 properties going and 3 properties marked off. And so this is what you need to do. And then I think the most important thing that most investors miss is as soon as you do this, The list came out last night at midnight. As soon as you do this, you need to get in your car. You need to write up like a business card or a quick handwritten note or some kind of a letter, or maybe even write up a contract if you know what you want to offer these properties. And you need to go to 5 houses. Go to 5 houses, knock on the door, shake off the cobwebs if you haven't done it for a while, and try to talk to the homeowner, leave a note at the door. And that just kind of like busts you out of the cobwebs that maybe you haven't done that in a while, and says, it's okay. I'm going to go up and I'm going to talk to these people, and I'm going to try to see if they would like to sell me their home. And even if you buy at auction, it's a great deal just to go to the house anyway. You might be able to get it for even lower than you would at the auction.
Hey, Jack, is there any other ways that you tell our customers or the investors that you work with on how to get in contact with property owners before the auction? Is there, I know that some people do postcards and stuff like that. What does that usually look like for you?
Yeah, so a lot of people like cold calls and calling. I think that's very, very hard to do that with a pre-foreclosure. A lot of them aren't paying other bills like their phone bills, and they're being, this is the last step in a process of them not paying bills for a long time, and so they're not answering their phones. So I would highly recommend going to the house first, sending letters second, leaving, things on the door. If it's a vacant home or home that you just can't figure out where the owner is, if you think it's occupied, I would talk to 5 or 6 neighbors. It's also not a bad idea to knock on 5 or 6 neighbors' doors while you're at that house, just to try to get another deal. And just in case anybody too might think you're targeting a foreclosure, you may want to just kind of knock around in the area. The guy who first told me about this back in, 2008, when I was in Colorado, he went up to Sheridan, Wyoming, and he got his first deal because he knocked on a neighbor's door and they gave the owner's information. It was a daughter who now owned the house who lived in Florida. He got her to write up the deal. And so that was his very first deal, was not through the owner, or was not through the house, but through the neighbor's house to get in touch with somebody in Florida to buy the house that was going into foreclosure. So you definitely need to do a little bit of extra work to find out more information.
Yeah, and I'd say the other thing I'd add to that is our list is constantly being updated. Yes, it was finalized yesterday, but once a property is on our list, a couple of things have happened. One, they've definitely been posted for foreclosure. It's not like they can be posted and then unposted. They might be posted and then not show up to the sale, but they've been posted for foreclosure. And so what we encourage a lot of people that are trying to buy properties before the auction to do is to constantly download the list, find the new properties that have been added, and then knock on those doors or send mailers or make those phone calls ahead of time. And then the other thing is just make sure that you're persistent with that contact, right? That first postcard probably is not going to do the trick. It's probably not going to be the second one, but maybe that third postcard that you send to the homeowner is what gets them to do that. Or the other thing is that it creates a relationship, right? So they've seen your postcard, they've seen your note on the door, and when you call and you finally get in touch with them, they recognize your name, and there's a little bit more authority there.
Yeah, people sell to who they feel they know and who they feel they trust.
Yep.
And so your opportunities to get it, the property, are higher and higher each follow-up, because they start to feel like they know you. They've now seen your face on postcards coming in, on door hangers on their door, and it's going to create more credibility. And also, you don't just have to look at the next month's list. So if I go back to this search page, I can select, see in Brazoria, we already have postings in December. So if I hit search, we have one posting. It's a loan that was for $134,000, and it's a single family home. I can go talk to them. Now, I can even buy this property probably with a traditional loan through a title company, because they don't have to sell until I think the December 7th auction. I think that's the day. It's December's auction. So make sure you're checking those early postings. And even though the list is complete for November, this December will update like 2 to 3 times a week. We'll get new postings. So.
Yeah, exactly. So really what we usually see is a pretty big onslaught of postings that come on for like that next month. So December, we would expect that today, tomorrow, we're going to actually start seeing a lot more December postings coming on. And so if you're buying properties before the auction, that's a great thing to look for. It gives you a little bit of edge because not everybody's doing that. We also suggest that real estate agents that are working with real estate investors or are trying to get properties to sell start checking this early stuff. So right now, if you put a property on the market usually you're getting 2 or 3 offers that first day. And so as a real estate agent, if you're able to go out, let's talk about this property. If you're able to go out, knock on the door, offer to sell it for the homeowner at market value, it's likely that you're going to be able to close on that before the end of the before that foreclosure sale. And so we're also seeing that banks are discussing loss mitigation and wanting to give homeowners as much time, as much, I guess, flexibility to capture some of that equity if they're in the process of selling it. So we believe that if you were able to go get this property under contract today, that you'd be able to sell it before the auction, or even work with the bank to sell it after the auction.
Yeah, great point. Yeah.
Jack, one thing I wanted to, another thing I wanted to talk about was just some of the updates that we have. So would you mind going back to the homepage where we put all of our updates?
Yeah, for sure. Just click here.
All right. Yeah, I just wanted to point out where we're this is kind of how we communicate with our customers or members on a mass scale. So anytime there's a big change or there's a new announcement, we on this top left corner of our screen, we have a banner that has the update and when that update was made. So you'll see here just last night around it looks like 9 o'clock, we finished all of our tier 1 counties. So we put that there. So you'll always see if there's any big changes to our list or new offerings or events, we'll put that there. Anything else that we should go through with this, Jack?
Yeah, well, one of the things that used to be up here, and we took it down. We took it down about a week before we got it back, is probate leads. We now actually have probate leads. I wanted to bring that up because I just worked with our developers to remove the button, which was probably too soon. So anyway, we got probate leads in too. So if you're looking for other types of leads, obviously inside of the products, but you're going to see the leads that we have on this site. But we also have the other site here called Portfolio Builder or prophawk.com. And you have access to this site. See how I just click the button and I'm already in? Inside of acquisitions, we have lead scores. We have, we have probate leads that you can email me to get some probate leads. But anyway, all different types of leads. This is mainly a pre-foreclosure webinar, but if you look at your county and you say, oh, Smith County only has, say 17 properties, I can drive those in an afternoon. I want more, then come on here, come on here and see what else there is.
Awesome. And we're actually going to be we'll have a couple of webinars on PropHawk and Roddy's Portfolio Builder in the next week or two. Also talking about some of our new products with Roddy's Insights, where we have drives and title for all of our major counties in Texas.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but the main thing is when you get that list, don't wait until you've got that frustration built up after you've been to so many auctions and you haven't got anything. Like, treat yourself like an investor who's been doing this for years. As soon as they get the list, the Wednesday, the Thursday before auction, of research week, they're out there with a highlighter and a marker. And they're highlighting the properties they like, and they're marking up the properties they don't like, and they're getting in their car and they're going to knock on doors. That way they get there before anybody else. So don't let anything delay you. And Brazoria is not even complete yet. And I already found 3 properties just by starting the list that I would go drive right away. So don't let anything stop you from getting out there and getting that deal. Even if you don't know who you're going to sell it to, let's say you don't have any cash and you can't close on it yourself. If you get the deal at a good price, you'll find people. You can send it to us. There's people out there who will buy that deal from you.
Yep. Anything else you think we should go through today, Jack?
No, I don't. I think if we talk too long, then people won't get in their cars and they won't start driving. And that's the most important thing.
All right. Well, it looks like we don't have any questions coming in. So if you guys have questions, if you're watching this broadcast or webinar after we post it live, feel free to drop the questions in the comments below. We've got people that are monitoring our social media 24/7 and are ready to answer your questions. You can also go to our website. In the bottom right-hand corner of any of our websites, we've got a chat icon where you can ask us any questions there. And it's Jack and I or Roddy's member that's going to answer that to you for you. So, anything else, Jack?
No. Good luck this month, and yeah, please feel free to reach out if you need anything.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a great day.